It's a pretty chilly Sunday. It's been pretty cloudy most of the day. It started raining hard in the morning. So that was like the greatest excuse for me to stay in bed. And I did, and it felt good. I feel so well rested, so refreshed, so calm and at peace. Today is a pretty good day. I spent a lot of time alone and just in a great meditative space, and I feel really good. It feels really good to just be sometimes, not have to worry about anything or anyone and just be there, just be. And that's the vibe today, just chilling, and I feel good about that. So, yeah, it's a pretty happy Sunday.
So, I've been doing a lot of thinking as usual. And I was thinking of, well, what I felt for the past couple of months. It has felt like, oh my God, this season's so hard. What's going on? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. Give me a sec. Like, why does it feel so heavy? Like, why aren't things going the way they're supposed to? No, man. No. I'm feeling sorry for myself because you know what? It's doing season. And I think that's what I've been feeling because, like season 3 of Vibe is just a lot on its own, with the extra work. Because of doing season. The doing season is hectic. The doing season is hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. It'll even have you questioning, like, oh my gosh, like, am I on the right path? But no, it's hard because it's during season. And it took me a couple of days to figure that out. Like, no, man, doing season is hard. When to work hard consistency, now is the time to be consistent, and it's hectic because of the workload. You know what I mean? Guys, the doing is doing the things. Like, I'm feeling it. Because now it feels like, it feels extra hard. You know what I mean? It feels extra hard, and I realized that now's actually the time to not even try to be feeling sorry for myself, but rather doing the things for their pots, because that's the only thing that's going to make the pot, Just staying consistent with what I'm doing. Just investing time and energy in what I'm doing. And it'll all work out. It's just feeling crazy because it's doing season. It's hard, it's easy to talk. But the action, it's a little harder, It's a little harder. And I don't know, I feel better now that I had this little conversation with myself. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you.
Okay, it's hard. I'll drink to that.
Okay, Sunday was a valley, clearly, from Wednesday. Midweek madness.
How fast was that? How fast was that? And it's just like that. It goes to show that, like, the shadow, the hard part, it doesn't go anywhere.
No.
It doesn't.
Really doesn't.
It doesn't disappear. That's why you need to find coping mechanisms to make it
healthy ones
through the valley.
Yeah, through this hard time. But also, like that, that video made me feel like after it, I felt so. I think maybe I was being hard on myself, but doing season is hard, and from where we come from to what we were doing was very different. And I couldn't identify what it was at first. I was just like, ugh, but it's like it's this new stuff that we're doing that we're incorporating into the old stuff, and it's just doing season. And what's worse is doing season while the season is also a little frustrating. It's like you can't stop.
I think for me, sorry.
You can stop. We just don't choose not to stop.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Noted. Choosing not to stop. I think it's really it's really interesting, you know, from where I'm sitting, right? Taking season 2 and season 3. I think, and I've mentioned this before, like the dynamics changed. Because I think, I don't know what the conversation was between the two of you in terms of who's taking point. But it's kind of, it's obvious, and I think it's a good thing. For me, it was a good thing because, like, you know, you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? And I think, you know, like, it's nice to see you exercising the muscle. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, to exercise the muscle in terms of taking point, taking lead. Because it's that thing where I think, like, because when we come into community, it's nice that we even when we at our lowest, there is still pillars that were built, so we're still strong. Do you get what I'm saying? Even in our, it's hard. Even in our, like, do you get what I'm saying? The muscle is still being developed. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. So I think it's nice to see, because the observation that I made is, like, you know, how you even became more verbal towards the end of the episodes. Like, for me, it's like sitting from the producer side. Like, you know, it's always nice to see that, you know, the baton can be passed. You know, like we can, like, do you get what I'm saying? For me, I'm speaking for myself now, from where I'm sitting. Obviously, my view is different.
Yeah.
But especially for the season that you guys are going into, you're gonna need all the strength that you can get.
Yeah.
You know, from each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, it's up to the two of you. You know, besides what everybody else is saying or everybody else is doing, it really comes down to the two of you. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's nice to see that. I hope it makes sense, because in my head it does. Sometimes when it comes out of my mouth it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool. I was just just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, no, luckily we have this thing. Like, it doesn't even need to be discussed or, like, it just happens naturally. Yeah.
I must say, man, like, I've said it before, but I need to say it again. Like, I really admire your friendship. Like, I don't know, like, for me it doesn't make sense, but I admire it.
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
No, I don't want to go into that right now. No, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. No. The reason I'm saying it doesn't make sense, because, like, I don't think I've had the privilege to have. Like, I don't think a lot of people have ever had the privilege of having had a friend for so long. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I think, you know, you've gone through every possible stage. You know, but I mean, obviously, as we grow older, there's different stages and there's different things. But, you know, it's just interesting to see. It's just interesting to witness. You know, to have, like, a front seat view of this.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
This dynamic. You know, like, I really. You guys are really lucky, man. Shame. Like. Okay, I can't swear on TV. I mean,
That's there on
myself.
TV.
You know, but yeah, I think it's really something special. I think, you know, or at least for me. because it's good to, yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut up now. You were saying?
About what?
Ooh.
Oh, I thought you were saying something.
No.
Should we continue?
Yes.
Cool.
It's Monday, Moon Day, and I'm on my first day of my cycle, and I feel exhausted. I feel the need to just be extremely gentle towards myself, and it's mostly because I have to. I have to, and I just wanted to take this moment and reflect on being gentle on myself. I mean, it's Monday, and the energy, according to society, is, it's a go time. And the most powerful thing about being a woman is your cycle and what it tells you about your emotional state. It is very important to honor your cycle because it signifies the importance of seasons. There's literally a time for everything. There's a time to get up and work, and there's a time to rest. And this is my time to rest. And I often have a hard time doing that. I'm low-key always hard on myself, and it shows up a lot when I don't really have the energy to be doing a lot, and my mind still expects me to do a lot. So I stayed in bed. I'm still in bed. Stayed a little longer this morning just to repeatedly tell myself, like, be gentle on yourself. Be gentle on yourself. It's okay to take it slow. It's okay to be within, it's okay to reflect. And it's just so ironic that it's Monday. And in astrology, Monday represents Moon Day. And it's my first Moon Day because I'm on my moon time. And the moon has to do with our emotions, It's so insane how aligned I feel. Like, my energy in the universe requires me to take it easy. But my mind just wants me to go, go, go because society expects me to. But I'm going to honor what my mind, soul, and body needs because that is what's best for me, and that's just the best way to show myself love today. So, yeah, Self-Care Monday it is.
Good morning. It's Monday. We feel good. I worked out. I took a shower. And I feel good. I'm ready for the week. I think yesterday's conversation with myself set me right about, I guess, this doing phase. Sure, we're a little stuck right now, but also I'm doing my best, and it's just that thing of honoring feelings even when they're unpleasant. And yeah, that's hit me right because you know what, the music, it's a little stuck and it's very frustrating, but also I'm doing my best, and I'm just gonna go through the motions. Knowing that I'm killing it. I'm doing my utmost best. I am doing the most best that can most. And I think that makes me feel good, because then I'm at ease about this whole situation. And also, I'm actively working on doing something about the music. So I think also that is also maybe what's helping me a lot. But yeah, man, otherwise the girl feels good. I'm sitting outside, catching some sun, catching the breeze, having my protein shake, just thinking some more. There's a lot to be done this weekend. I'm excited.
It's a vibe with H2.
Silence takes over.
I think it was just how I just noticed how we were just at different energy levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're just at completely different energy levels. See, people, it happens. Because people always think that we feel the same and act the same all the time. But yeah, I think that's the one thing that stood out for me.
Yeah.
And also with the valley, I think it's also important to acknowledge the valley and being in the valley, being in the darkness and going through it. As much as it's so beautiful and important to work and to feel the goodness, and it's also very important to rest, because where are you going to get the energy to work if you don't rest? But then I still have a hard time navigating my way through that, because like I said, like my body was just like, bro, we're not doing it today, so count us out.
Yeah.
My brain too was like, count me out too, you know, but
A part of you.
I wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, doing season. There's a lot that needs to be done, you know? And I think that's another thing that keeps the fire within the purpose. Is that even in your lowest of energies, there's still that something that keeps saying, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah.
You can't stay there.
Yeah.
Gotta go. You know what I mean? Because if that voice was not there, if that little nudge to want to keep going, even though I told myself not today, you know, if that nudge didn't exist, I'd sink
Yeah.
and chill in my valley. But I've just recognized how I always fight. I fight myself when I have to rest, but that feeling, I just realized.
I go through the same
Yeah,
thing.
I just realized that feeling is just that reminder of the purpose. Like you've got goals to reach, you've got things to do. Like it doesn't take that away.
Yeah.
The goal doesn't go away. Things that you have to do don't go away. They're still there. But it's also important to have the strength to rest within the chaos and really gather your energy, because I know how important it is for me to do that, because if I don't, you carry the fatigue with you in places where it's not supposed to be.
That's very true. That's very true.
It's something that I wanted to ask towards the end, but I think it's like the time is just right now. You know, we spoke about the valley, we spoke about the mountaintop and stuff. And I think you guys are privileged to be like in households where, like, for example, Kelly, there's two other women, you know, both hustlers in your space, the same thing, you know. So you get exposed to different lived experiences, you know, which you can draw from, which you can observe, which you know, learn from and stuff like that. So my question then is, you know, if you have to look at it holistically from their point of views as well and your own, like what would you, if you have to say anything, you know, to, like, let's talk about women specifically, you know, like looking at your journey, looking at referencing other people's journeys that are in your space, you know, because I always say to people, let's I always like to reference my own lived experience and not speak for people that live
Things
across
you
the
don't
street.
know.
Yeah, things you don't know. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes people will go like, yeah, but you're not living my life. You don't understand. You get what I'm saying? But you have references, of women that lives completely different lives to yours. Like looking at that, what would you, like, how would you, not like, let me use encourage for lack of a better word, or what would your word of the day be?
To other women.
Yeah.
Word of the day.
Word of the day.
I have a word. I got words.
Word. What would your sentences of the day be? Yeah, because like I want you to particularly look at like where you at, like as we're tracking the week, right? And you saw, like we just spoke about, like how every day it's almost like you press the reset button. Every day and you take all this baggage with you, but you choose to reference the positive to fuel you. You choose to, you're unlearning to be too critical. You're unlearning to be too hard. You're unlearning to not living that shadow thing that you spoke about. You get what I'm saying? And like you also said now, like yesterday you spoke about the hard, and then the next day you go like, okay, fine, it helped you to kind of reset like the next day. You get what I'm saying? So it's an everyday thing. And when you look at your journey and you kind of take from the other journeys that you're experiencing in your space, you get what I'm saying? Whether it's from your two sisters, your mother, whether it's from your mother or your sister, you get what I'm saying? Because I think that also helps you to kind of see the other sides of life,
Oh, don't forget Lulu and Nugget.
And yeah, you know what I'm saying?
These
These
two also have
two,
an impact.
you have so many because we spoke about it in, I was it season 2, the generational thing,
Yeah.
Like what would you, if you have to look at it holistically, what would you, like I'm just trying to choose the right words. What would come up out of your mouth? Let me say it like that. Like what would come out of your mouth?
Oh, okay.
If you look at it, if you look at these amazing women that you share spaces with, and you reflect for yourself, like what would, I won't say advice, man, because advice is so
And
trivial.
like what's so beautiful about both our situations is that we're both in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
We're both
exactly,
like in the middle.
exactly.
What I would say is, as women, I think we need to now acknowledge and accept our superpowers.
For real.
Like our womb powers.
Yeah.
We have superpowers right
Listen.
here.
It's
We
time.
don't just give life. But there's so much power here. With women, we connect on a higher frequency, on a spiritual frequency. We don't have to say anything to each other, but we sense each other's energy so deeply. I think that's why there's this theory that girls don't really like each other.
Mean girls, whatever.
It's not that we see through each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
The girls don't hate each other.
Mm.
We see through each other. I sense your emotion, you sense mine. And sometimes my emotion triggers you, and then you seem offish to me. Then I think, oh, she doesn't like, but that's not the case. It's that I felt you deeply, you felt me too, and something about me triggered you, something about you triggered me. That's where the tension lies. That's why people always, oh my gosh, like why are girls so nice in the bathroom? That's because our panties are down. We're all vulnerable. Okay? Everyone's got us down in there.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place in the bathroom. Let you know. Like, ladies' bathrooms. Yeah, like, listen, especially in the clubs. I promise. It's a community. It's so beautiful.
God,
We're nice to each other.
So pretty. Do you need lip gloss?
Yeah, are you, that's the energy because we're all vulnerable. But as soon as we step out of that vulnerable state, we all guarded because also society expects us to be guarded, right? But the thing with women is that we sense each other, and I think we don't recognize that as a superpower. So in the household, my mom has lived longer than both of us, so she has the experience.
Yeah.
I too have a bit of the experience, right? My sister, let me say we all have experience, but it's different, right? My sister's in her 20s, so she's living young, wild, and free. She's a reminder not to take things too seriously while my mom takes things seriously. Just say what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It's beautiful to be in the middle, the middle of the spectrum, to see, oh, okay, this is how I can navigate my way through things. There are certain fears that my mom has about life that my sister doesn't have about life. And it helps me because, I mean, I'm like in the middle, right? My mom's a Gen X, so I'm Gen Y. My sister's a Gen Z. So I always have to ask why. Why are you so serious? And why are you not so serious? And the reason behind that is because I need to find the balance.
Yeah.
And so, I'm sorry, like I'm gonna say a lot, right? Because I'm like now getting downloads on. Because of my mom's experience and where she's at in her life, she's set in her ways. Because of my sister's experience and where she's at in her life, she's still building her way. And I'm like in the middle of it, right? Like I'm stuck on my mom's ways because she raised me, but my sister's bringing new perspectives to help us see things differently. And it makes life easier. It helps me be more graceful to both of them. To understand and be more forgiving. Okay, that's why you're so hard. That's why you're not so serious about these things, you know? And I think like we really underestimate that kind of connection because ultimately it helps us really grow into who we're authentically meant to be. You know what I mean? Because I'm a millennial. I was alive before we were free. Before 1994, you know, but so the energies of oppression and fear and what still exist within me. Whereas, you know, they exist. They're generational, and I can't ignore them because I see them within my mother somehow. Don't do this because no, don't, you know, go get a job because this is safe. Do you understand? When, as my sister's like, okay, you know what? I feel like braiding someone today, so I'm gonna braid people for a while, make money through that. Oh, okay, now I'm gonna
done with that.
Yeah, done with that. Let me focus on the lashes. Let me go get my certification to get lashes. You see how lashed up I am? It's her. It's her. So it's like, let me do this. Let me get. So my sister's always innovative. She's always trying new things. She's always and she's relentless about it. Like she doesn't go, oh, should I? You know. Whereas my mom will think about something before she does it. She'll be like, should I? And she'll take time thinking about that. And with me, I'm just stuck in between, you know. But like having them in my life has really helped me be the balance. And
we are that generation.
Literally, we're the balance. Like, and so that's what it is. A lot of the times, anyone that you come across is a mirror reflection of you. It doesn't matter where you bump into this person. If the person you see has a certain effect on you, it's because there's something within them that mirrors a part of you. And if it makes you uncomfortable, look into it and heal. If it makes you comfortable, look into it and celebrate it. But either way, look into it. Because especially women, I don't have to say a word to you, but I can feel you.
For real.
I don't have to say anything, but I will feel you. I will feel your energy. And what's important is that I will feel what is within me. I won't feel something that doesn't exist within me. So if you irritate me a little bit because you're annoying, it's because it's something about me that I find annoying. You know? If I be like, oh, you're too dramatic, you're too wild, you're too... It's the lack of confidence within me that is like, I don't like that. But deep down inside, it's like, no, you know you want to be like that. You know it. You know it.
Yeah.
So that's the power about like being a woman is feeling things beyond the physical. And a lot of the times we can't make sense of it because we're fighting our own demons. And when you see a demon come up through another physical person, it triggers you a little bit. And I'm saying that to say, like, within the household, there are, like, triggers, a bit of tension. Like, sometimes the things my sister does is like, why are you doing that? Why you gotta do that? you know? And sometimes the things my mom does, like, what you gotta think like that? It's 2024. What you know what I mean? But ultimately, they are just reflections of me, parts of me that I need to look at and say, am I comfortable identifying myself with this value? Am I comfortable identifying myself with this circumstance? Am I okay with it? And in that moment, I have the power to shift that. That's why I say we have superpowers. Like, okay, the superpower within like the dynamics of recognizing something and changing it is within everybody. But with women, it's deeper because there's emotions attached to it. So don't, like, without letting the emotions overwhelm you, like, are you able to recognize like this mirror that's standing in front of you and what it reflects about you and what you need to change or rather embrace? So the dynamic at home is that it's breaking the generational curses, right? Which is the fear-based mindset, the lack, the oh no, if I do, you know, it's that, and not taking life too seriously, just doing things that really make you happy. Because I realized with my sister is that like she doesn't worry about a lot of things. Like she's not worried. She's not worried, but like she makes money. Like how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you?
Worryless money.
You know, and that's what I want for myself.
Yeah.
So I think, damn, I just realized that like I've got inspiration at home. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For real.
Exactly.
Yeah. I find myself in the same position at home. Middle. So it's why you gotta think like that. Come on now. It's 2024 and others. But with my sisters, I find myself having to convince them of stuff, having to convince them to do stuff, having to convince them, get out there, get in your purpose. That's me. Yeah. Get in your purpose. Yeah. I find that's the role I need to play with my sisters. And then Lulu's the one drives me crazy. And not me spilling.
Sorry.
Yeah, Lulu's the one I think I'll say might trigger me, but the dynamic is
But what's
pretty
the
much
trigger?
same. Whew, I feel, you know what? She's a copy of me, and our conversations, our answers sometimes just like I probably would have said the same thing, you know, type of situation. like I probably would have said the same thing, but.
It's not nice to hear.
Yeah, that's Lulu. Lulu does that for me. She keeps me on my toes. But other than that, I'm the one that has to remind people, like, you know what? Sometimes relax. Like, relax. It's okay. Or you're doing good. Like, yeah.
And also like what you saying then,
Yeah.
we also have to acknowledge that anxiety and stress and what it's passed down through DNA. That those
Yes,
things
it
are
is, guys.
passed down because when you are raised by a person who went through apartheid, who had to survive. Let's talk like if you are raised by someone who had to survive, who faced segregation. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
You need something immediately?
nah.
Yeah.
Could be fixed at home.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's important to also recognize that. That's why we're the generation and the generation that comes after us. We're breaking the curses that exist within our bloodline.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to play it cool, like but I had it, but no, it's still happening.
Like with my mom, I know I have my mother's anxiety. I'm aware of it. I just, maneuver and
Exactly.
work my way through it.
Yo, it's so profound actually. It's the acknowledging.
Yes.
It's the acknowledging
Yes.
because sometimes you have to, because you can't fix it if you don't know it's there and
Exactly.
acknowledge that it is there.
Exactly.
Dude, I have anxiety. Like I am uncomfortable when I'm in those kind of spaces. I don't like being, confronted that way because and then knowing that and then finding a way to process it and say, okay, fine, let me work on this thing. Otherwise it's gonna cripple me for the rest of my life.
Literally.
You know?
And that's what you focus on. Not how your mom made you feel, or how your sister triggered you, or how your work. What are you gonna do about it? And that makes it easier because I know a lot of us have like difficult relationships with our parents to some degree. Everybody has that, you know. But it's very important to show love and grace to them because they've had to walk through things that, because of them walking through them, we don't have to walk through them anymore. But we carry the scars that they carried.
That's true.
So the fact that you didn't have to walk through it, but you still carry the scars, means you have the ability to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So that when you one day carry on with your legacy, not legacy, your children, you don't pass that on to you. You heal it first so that when you have your children, it's easier. They don't have to
Deal with
because you broke the
curse.
yeah. And I think like it's easy to have built up resentment, you know, towards your parents for certain tensions that, or the way you were raised, or certain things that was said to you in a certain way. Like you could have said that nicer. You could have, you know, the way they deliver things sometimes. It's very important to have grace. But the grace only comes from not only just acknowledging where you're at, but also acknowledging where she's at, where she comes from. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Most definitely.
I don't like to say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
But at the same
Listen to
I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to. Yeah.
Mr. A, and I feel like you can't even say that because literally you are the picture of
Yeah, but you
being
see,
taught new tricks. Like you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry, can I just say?
Yes, I'm listening.
Don't forget what you want to say now.
Yes.
The reason why I'm saying that is that you get challenged. For me, like the reason why I'm learning, I've learned to adapt is because of what I'm exposed to. Right. So when we look at our parents, right, they don't have to be exposed. They're retired. They're living in the house. Okay, mine is retired. Like yours is still working to a certain extent. But they are in a space where they've created their safe space. They're getting their pension, so money isn't the problem. You have your house. I don't need to do anything. So there's no motivation to change. There's none. There's none. Because it's my house. You're the child. You're not gonna tell me. I've lived my life. There's nothing. Unless a friend comes along and like, Ushla, you can't think like that, the kids, that's the only, like it's only if their peers challenges them. But do you get what I'm saying? They have nothing to prove to the world. There's no boss, there's nothing. You get what I'm saying? So I'm speaking for myself now.
Yeah.
Like I'm as the child, there's nothing I do, I have to accept it. Like for me, I just accepted it. Like there's certain things I'm just gonna stay out of your way. I'm not gonna bring that.
I think it's the generation.
Yeah.
Your mom.
My mom is like that generation. Is
that
like it's over. Like it's like close the door.
I think there's hope for
Let's
our
very white
parents.
them.
That group.
Yeah, I think so.
They,
Like, I really think so.
they're struggling, but they do
Yes.
open up to new experiences
Yeah.
and whatnot. But
I think that's also where the grace comes in for you.
Yeah.
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 Where the grace, like recognizing where she comes from and
Remembering
understanding that, okay,
the struggle she came up with and her knowing
I see.
struggle.
Yeah.
And
And I also like, oh, geez, this is so. But anyway,
I don't want to go there.
I guess I gotta go there. The other day, my mom triggered me, and I wanted to get angry. I got angry. But then I realized that, she's reacting this way because this has been our dynamic ever since I was a child. And oftentimes I people please my way out of it. And now that I'm working on no longer being a people pleaser, now obviously it's like, huh? You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's acknowledging that like I'm the one on the journey of breaking the.
Yeah. Cycle.
Do you understand? Not me forcing her to change anything.
Yeah.
You know, although I believe she can change.
Yeah.
But me acknowledging that, oh, this is where I'm at right now in my phase. So how would me now take this without being the old people pleaser? Because the old people pleaser would easily just try to make up somehow by maybe cleaning or making. But how does the new me handle this? Because whatever I do is going to impact her. Because the tension is between us, right? And that's where the power truly lies. Because then when I make a different decision, she'll notice it. Because all our lives, I've people pleased my way out of a situation. So now if I do things differently, maybe she'll also... Maybe that dynamic no longer works for us.
Exactly.
That's why I say you can't say
Yeah.
you can't teach them new truths.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because my mom like once told me, she's like, you know, of the two of you, you're like the child that I know like I can rely on emotionally. Like, I know I can rely on you, but that's a huge part of that's because I've been a people pleaser all my life. I've known to be a good kid. I'm very good at that. But my sister is very good at standing up for herself, which looks like you're challenging your parent, but you're just really
You know,
doing
it's
what's
just
best for
really,
you.
yeah.
And my mom loves her the same.
That's the thing.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Loves her the same. So that means it's okay for me to find my new way of being. It's not going to take the love away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to take... Because my sister really, like, she's really, like, complete opposite of who I am. But I admire that so much because a huge part of her innovativeness, her, you know, her drive is, like, something that I've always wanted to have. And seeing my mom love the hell out of my sister for just being who she is, even though she's like, oh, challenges me sometimes, but like I love her so much, you know. It gives me the courage to truly step into who I really want to be and not move by trying to be safe all the time. So yeah.
Can I quickly? Okay, we kind of like we'll get back to this quickly now. I promise.
yeah.
But I just want to quickly touch on it from a creative perspective. You know, because I think for me that's why I really try and find the balance. Like it's really hard for me, you know, sticking to my guns when it comes to the creative space, right? Because I was talking to the guys yesterday because we had a rehearsal and we're doing this music and that's like new to them. They're doing Afrikaans songs that they don't know and all this old stuff from Zepotzola and Lucky Dube and they're like what is this and rah rah rah. And what's so interesting, like in 2 days, we rehearsed on Monday, like it was like rah 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 rah. Yesterday, like, you know, you could sense that they are beginning to sense the music. And what I said to them, and I believe that with all my heart, I said to them, you know what? You might not know the music, you might not be comfortable with the music, but tap into the spirit of the music. Because once you tap into the spirit of the music, I promise you're going to enjoy the music because the music was written in a spirit, like it was, although it talks about like it's heartbreak, it's protest music, it's all those kind of things, but the spirit in which it was written will connect with your spirit and you will be able to carry that because it comes from that space. Do you get what I'm saying? And I've always believed that. That's why I love the arts, that's why I love music, because of that spiritual thing, right? So here's my challenge, and I'm tabling it, right? Because, and the reason why I'm tabling it is because you guys are going into this venture. Is like we literally just spoke about family dynamics, we spoke about womanhood, we spoke about all those things, right? And all of that is spiritual. All of it. You know, it's taking it from let the mind, let what goes into the mind comes from the heart, that it comes from the soul, that it comes from the being, and then the decision making then happens, sourcing it here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, evaluate the external things, criticize it, and then bring it in and let it be filtered, and then it comes out. You know, that's how that's what I got from this conversation. So when it comes to the creative space, right, there's a notion that we need to operate from the external.
Isn't that how society expects us to do?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah.
But yet we don't function that way. Biologically, psychologically, spiritually, we
We're
don't
not.
function that way. Do you get what I'm saying? Like everything is external. Like I was watching there was a thing on Facebook where there's this DJ, like unfortunately I can't remember the name. So she was DJing soul music, female. Like she literally got onto the
The one that was wearing black.
yeah.
With
that
her
showed her
ass
ass.
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see it? I saw it.
What?
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that poor ass wasn't even trying to be seen. She had
Trying to hide.
No, we're not ready for the show. You didn't prepare us. Say the butt cheeks. She's like, you gotta show
Some
up.
guidance is advised.
I saw that
Do you
video.
get what I'm saying?
How girl?
You get what I'm saying? And it proves my point that we are, I think as creators, we believe that it's external. We're starting to believe that it's external. Because otherwise, why is she doing that? Why is she doing that? Because she's believing that it's external. That the
My
source
set is not enough. Let me show my ass.
You get what I'm saying? Show them, DJ, show them.
It's crazy.
You know?
It's crazy.
But then, for me, that reflected someone that's not in tune with who they are.
True that, you know.
Oof.
That's someone that is not in
Followers.
tune with who they are. Yes, she's living in the external hard. Because what do the lady DJs do? Play, get in front of the decks and, you
Dance a
know,
little bit.
dance a little bit. What does ZW do? What does she do?
Yeah.
Comes out.
Yeah.
What up, chicks? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And what happens? She gets the money.
She gets the gigs,
So a lot of the times we don't really think about what do I want to do and how do I want it to look like. You know?
Yeah.
I see you do it. And that's the power of the external. We live in each other's worlds now
Yeah, literally.
because of social media. So we are so inspired and driven by other people's purposes and the way they live that we think maybe if I try that, I'll also go viral. But then that shuts down who you truly are, who you authentically are. And a huge reason why I feel like I haven't blown up the way I feel like I'm supposed to is because I'm still finding my way to my authenticity. In a sense, there's been a lot of external validation going on.
Crazy validation stuff.
Yeah, you know, with the people pleasing infused with it, you know. How do I define my art? Oh, I see Beyonce do this. I see whoever do this. I see. Yeah. How do I? Do you understand? And that could lead you astray. And I am very certain about it. I'm very certain that like my purpose is driven behind my authenticity. It's only through my own authenticity that I will shine through. But as long as I keep trying to take things that don't really belong to me, I'm not going to be okay. Because the minute I do that, I outsource. I shut my soul up.
Yeah. Also,
And
I don't
when
know
I-
what that person is carrying. Can you carry that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same
When
way.
I came here, I had my plan was set, my purpose, my life. It had already been laid out for me. I think we come to Earth thinking we just drop shame. Like, what am I going to do here? What's that? And that's not the case.
True that.
You have your path. It's just that it's not obvious to you. It's not the way that you think it'll go step by step. Sometimes I think the detours that you have to take that will still lead you to where you're supposed to be. And also being lost and trying to, it's also good because it helps you realize that no, you were not supposed to do that. Like you said, like sometimes you have to experience things. You have to go
Have to
through
learn,
the thing
yeah.
in order for you to realize this is not
Yeah.
for me. But ultimately, you know
You
know
really do.
what your purpose is. And I've realized at this point in my life, I don't know 5 years from now, but now I've realized that it's within my authenticity that my star will shine. No matter what it looks like, even if it's not popular to the world, and so because we move with trends now,
Yeah.
you know. Like, what do I feel? What is right for me? What do I think is right for me to say right now in front of this camera to put out? That's what's important. Because however it comes out, it's still the truth. You know? And because it's a digital footprint, people will come back to it 10 years later. And because it's authentically who you are, you can still stand for it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can't say, no, I showed my ass because
Yeah.
2024 was ass face. No, that doesn't make sense.
As for me, I like that.
Google my ass.
For real.
Yeah, so
For real.
being true to you
For real.
helps you also
Yeah.
navigate, because people always have questions. We live in a world where we're sharing our lives, and people feel like because you're sharing your stuff on public platforms, they can have a public opinion.
Yep.
So because of that, it's very important for you to stay true to you, so that when you're questioned on your moves, you stand on your business.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Comfortably.
Yeah, I did that. Even if it's yo, it's ass face. What did you want from me?
Oh my
So,
word,
yeah.
guys.
That's
Oh,
That's very true. That's
Stay-
very true.
Stay true to yourself, man.
For real.
No one will question. And that's the thing. Knowing your weakness, that's a superpower.
That's
Because no one
True that.
will dabble
Nobody
on
can come at you.
Right.
So what?
So what?
Yeah.
Yes. That
Yeah.
that's that's
And
that's
then
yeah. So and yeah. I had this cousin of mine. He passed away now, right? And he was like that. Like, he tested boundaries, like to a point where, like, if you confront him about it, he's not gonna be like, oh man. He's like, no, that's my weakness. I'm sorry, this is where I fall short. And, and you know, when you try to confront someone like that and they come at you with that,
Yeah.
you can't fight
Over.
it.
Yeah.
you're gonna lose.
You can't fight it, but you see through them.
Yeah.
You
Can't shame them.
understand exactly. Because you shame yourself
Yeah.
Exactly.
with your weaknesses.
Yeah.
And now here stands a person in front of you, proud of it, like saying, no, sorry. This is where I fall short. I don't know
dare
much
this
about
person live
Hey,
their life.
yes, and that's what the issue is.
Yeah.
The issue is see someone do something you wish you could, but you
How
can't.
dare you do what you want to do?
Yeah. So it's very important to acknowledge you, your purpose, why
Fully.
you do the things you do, the way you do them, and stand on it. Because in this phase of your life, this is the smartest thing you can do, because your brain is at that level. When you progress in life, you might have a different perspective, and that's okay. That's why it's okay to not dwell on your past, because 20-year-old you did that because they thought that was the best thing to
Yeah.
do at that time.
True that.
That's okay. You know? It's the hiding behind the other things and outsourcing that makes things a little bit teka-teki. Because now when we ask you questions, then you're...
Glitch in the matrix.
Exactly. Today is day 2 of my cycle, and I got out of bed. I'm gonna go have breakfast and hopefully jump back in bed or right after, not right after, but whatever. I'm tired. I'm cramping today. And my back is aching. But I managed to cancel one of my appointments today because we had to meet the kids today, but I just couldn't. But I have a virtual meeting later on. Hopefully I'll feel better then. But yeah, today, like, my energy is on 0. But I'm just gonna be gentle on myself and be soft on myself. But yeah. Guess it's just one of those days. One of those days. And we're back. So today we're very chilled. You know, the whole thing of honoring all of your emotions. So I've been honoring this nothingness, and today feels good to Claire. It feels good to be nobody. Literally. I'm doing good. Yes, we're planning stuff, but we're just going through the motions, because I mean, we can only feel like this because something big is coming. So yeah, man, I'm just honoring these feelings. Like, sure, there's anxiety, there's a lot of feelings, but it feels good not to be thinking about it. So I'm not thinking about nothing today. Yeah, because my day got turned upside down. That is, I was just like, okay, cool. We shall chill. So I'm sipping on this cup of tea.
What's he chewing on now?
Yeah, exactly.
Coming in. But I feel at ease, hey? It's not always the case, so I think that's why I've been preaching these feelings of ease. 'Cause it's easier to be in flow state. I'm excited. There's so much coming up. I'm very excited. I'm anxious. We have an entire tea coming up. And that's so daunting. That's what I've been thinking about a lot. And we have another session, so I'm also thinking about that. But it's all good feelings. Just this period has had a lot of thinking. We've been thinking, and just being aware of just self-awareness has been nice. It's been really nice. And yeah, man, it's all good. It's all love. It's all peace.
It's a vibe with H2.
Before the episode at Naval Hill.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was before that.
Yes,
Before that, you're right. Any comments?
Oh, yeah, like, let's acknowledge the changes that have occurred.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, in the sense that, like, we spoke about the tea, I spoke about the kids, and personally, it's just like, this was a project we just decided to take on. But then in the midst of the overwhelm, I realized that I didn't have the ability to do it. I had to come to the sad realization that I can't do it. I don't have the energy to do it. not I don't have the capability. I don't have the energy to do it. The energy that I expect out of myself does not exist within this movement. And that's the other thing about doing season is like you have so many plans and so many things that you want to do, but like when you're in the motion, that's when you realize that snap, maybe this is not the process that I signed up for.
It's definitely different.
You know, it's easy to want to be an artist. It's easy to want to be on the stage, but the process really determines whether or not this is truly what you want to do. And I think that's what I recognize with like having the developmental program with the kids. For me, I felt like, okay, let's do this. But then when we were in the process, I realized there's a lot of development that needs to happen within me.
Yeah.
So how do I start to begin to develop other people when I myself need that development? Let me work on myself first. Let me develop me first. Gather the energy to do that. Because when I do, I think I will execute it better. And it didn't kill anything because the wellness sessions are still happening, right? So that made me realize, oh, that's where you're supposed to be. That's where the oomph for wanting to help is. It's within the wellness sessions because we did that, we executed that so beautifully with the Bloom Girls Rock Foundation. And so it was like, oh, so that's what so for me, it's like you get ideas sometimes, a spark of an idea of something, and then you don't really think. I do that sometimes. I get very impulsive. And I'm like, oh, let me do this. But then when I get into it, I'm like, whoa. Whoa. No. I don't think it's going to come out the way that I would like it to. Yes, there's the whole not being in control of everything.
Yeah.
But the gist, the most important part of
There are those
executing, you know, like the execution part of it is like, no, I can't do that right now. It was so hard for me. It was very hard for me to say I can't. It was very hard. Like, it didn't sit well with me because I don't like not being able to do things. But at the same time, it was like acknowledging that, no, you're doing other things. You're not just saying, I can't do this now, let's just chill and not do anything. It's like, I can't do this right now.
Exactly.
But I have the energy and the drive to do this. Let's do that and perfect this. Because sometimes juggling a lot of things in your hand, all the balls that you're juggling, you might not be able to carry them through. But if you juggle what you can handle, they will turn out good. Because that's the thing with me. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'm working on it. But I want things to turn out good. I want to look back at something and feel like, oh, that was good. No matter what it looked like in that phase. But so I in that moment acknowledge and recognize that I don't think I'm going to be proud of how I execute this. So let me rather take this energy and put it in an ongoing project that I know I have the energy for, that I know I can mold into something greater. So that's the other thing about setting goals, being impulsive, doing season, is that sometimes while you're in the doing, you realize I can't do this no more.
No, really, and I think that's good because even when you, like, I was hyped up, like, I was tired, you know, and just overwhelmed, but I was like, you know what, let's do it. And then you sent the text, and I didn't even say a lot. I was like, all right, because I was like, and I was like, and it's not, we're not canceling or scratching it.
No.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
I was even like to myself, maybe even if we do one visit this year, but we're not scratching it, but also we're not in a position to fully service these children, you know what I mean? And we obviously want the best of the best.
I'm not gonna have a development program.
That
I
is
still
just
need
for
developing.
just, you know what I mean? Yeah. It
I
needs to mean
I
something.
still need some development.
Yeah, so
And I'm working on it.
it's important also
You know?
to
Yeah.
realize.
And it's important also, to give myself grace to develop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when I do that, then when we do the developmental program, I'll have the grace for the others
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I think one thing that I also realized yesterday, because I remember when I sent you guys the text about the girls.
Yeah.
So I had this meeting with one of the organizations. They do amazing work with differently abled kids.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I always tell myself is the fact that we all play different roles in making things work. You get what I'm saying? Like for them as an organization, like I mean, just the way they speak about the programs that they're doing. You get what I'm saying? That is what fuels them
I remember
going
Kai-
into the space.
It's Kai Foundation, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You know,
remember.
doing the work, going to the schools. They can do that 24/7, right? But then you get other people that are the visionaries. You know, they come into that space and they give strategic direction. Like, okay, fine, this is great, but like, just consider X, Y, and Z to kind of like amplify what you guys are doing. And then you get people that just come in and bring the fuel. Do you get what I'm saying? That come and add value. And sometimes one needs to really be sure like who you are in that equation. Especially if you're a doer. Like if you're a doer, you want to go all the way and do with them. But it's not your thing. It's not your season. You get what I'm saying? And I think like in this case, like when you guys reposition, especially because like your goal is, this is your path, right? And your path is not to build an orphanage. It's not your path. Do you get what I'm saying? But with the capacity that you have, with the compassion that you have fuel
Yeah.
to pour into somebody else. That you have
Yeah.
plenty of. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, but let me fuel you. Are you good? Yes, you're good. I'll see you. I'm on my way. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think sometimes what we do is, like I say, especially doers, because I had to learn that. I had to, like, I can't run everybody's race for them. I cannot. That's not my job. Like, I can't build your house with you. It's not my job. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe I should put in the windows. Maybe my job is to put in the roof, tile a little bit here,
Then
but
yeah.
I can't build the house. It's not my job, you know? I think that's really one thing that we have to identify and make sure that what role am I supposed to play in this equation? You know?
and sometimes it takes you being in that moment to realize that.
Yeah.
So what's your role?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that's the other thing, like it was hard for me, you know, but I also had to acknowledge that it's okay. It's okay to have been in that moment and be like, whoa,
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yep.
Instead of just thinking about it and letting it go.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are certain plans you need to see through so that you can really have a reason to say, no, this is why I'm really not doing this right now.
True that.
And not really, I don't know why I'm not doing that right
Yeah.
now.
It's a vibe with H2.